Dogs communicate far more through body language than through sound, and among the most expressive parts of their bodies are their ears. The position, movement, and tension of a dog's ears, whether erect, drooping, or tilted, offer subtle but powerful clues about its emotional state, intentions, and level of comfort. Understanding these signals not only deepens the bond between humans and dogs, but also helps prevent misunderstandings that could lead to stress or even aggression. 3 common ear positions, erect, drooping, and tilted, each carry distinct meanings shaped by a dog's instincts, environment, and personality. When a dog's ears are erect, standing upright and forward-facing, it often signals alertness and attention. This posture indicates that the dog is actively processing information from its surroundings. The dog may have heard an unfamiliar sound, spotted movement, or sensed something that requires closer observation. In this state, the dog is neither necessarily aggressive nor fearful. Rather, it is focused. For example, when a dog hears footsteps approaching the house or notices another animal in the distance, its ears may perk up as it tries to gather more auditory details. In many cases, erect ears also reflect curiosity. A young dog exploring a new environment might frequently display this posture, showing its eagerness to learn and engage. However, context matters. If erect ears are accompanied by a stiff body, intense staring, and a raised tail, the dog may be on high alert and potentially preparing for a defensive or assertive reaction. Conversely, if the body is relaxed and the tail is wagging loosely, erect ears simply indicate interest and engagement rather than tension. In contrast, drooping ears, whether naturally floppy due to breed or actively pulled back, often suggest relaxation, submission, or insecurity. It is important to distinguish between a dog whose ears are naturally floppy, such as a golden retriever or beagle, and a dog actively positioning its ears backward or downward. When a dog pulls its ears back against its head, it is usually expressing a desire to avoid conflict or signal that it means no harm. This posture is commonly seen when a dog greets a human it trusts, especially after a long absence. The ears may be pinned back slightly as part of an overall submissive and affectionate display, often accompanied by a wagging tail and lowered body posture. However, drooping ears can also indicate fear or anxiety. If the ears are tightly pressed back, the body is crouched, and the dog avoids eye contact, it may be feeling threatened or overwhelmed. In such cases, the dog is not merely relaxed, but is trying to make itself appear smaller and less confrontational. Recognizing this distinction is crucial, as approaching a fearful dog too quickly can escalate its stress and potentially trigger defensive behavior. The third common position, tilted ears, represents a more nuanced and often endearing form of communication. When a dog tilts its head to one side, causing one ear to lift higher than the other, it is usually trying to better understand a sound or visual cue. This behavior is closely linked to a dog's cognitive processing. Dogs rely heavily on auditory signals, and tilting the head may help them localize sounds more precisely or interpret human speech patterns. Many dog owners notice this behavior when they speak to their pets in an animated tone or use unfamiliar words. The tilt suggests that the dog is engaged and attempting to make sense of what it hears. Beyond auditory function, ear tilting can also reflect emotional curiosity and attentiveness. It often occurs in calm, safe environments where the dog feels comfortable enough to focus on subtle stimuli. In some cases, repeated head tilting may even indicate a learned response, as dogs quickly realize that humans find this gesture charming and may reward it with attention or affection. It is essential to understand that ear positions rarely function in isolation. They are part of a broader system of canine body language that includes tail movement, posture, facial expression, and vocalization. For instance, erect ears combined with a wagging tail and relaxed mouth convey a very different message than erect ears paired with growling and a rigid stance. Similarly, drooping ears alongside a soft gaze and gentle tail wag indicate friendliness, whereas drooping ears with trembling or hiding suggest fear. Therefore, interpreting ear positions accurately requires observing the entire behavioral context rather than focusing on a single signal. Breed differences also play a significant role in how ear positions are expressed and interpreted. Dogs with naturally erect ears, such as German Shepherds or Siberian Huskies, display more visible changes in ear orientation, making their signals easier to read. In contrast, breeds with long, floppy ears may rely more on subtle shifts in ear-base position or other body cues. Despite these variations, the underlying emotional meanings remain consistent across breeds, rooted in shared canine instincts and social communication patterns. In conclusion, the position of a dog's ears, whether erect, drooping, or tilted, serves as a vital channel of communication that reveals its inner state. Erect ears signal alertness and engagement. Drooping ears often indicate submission or anxiety depending on context, and tilted ears reflect curiosity and cognitive processing. By learning to read these signals accurately, humans can respond more appropriately to their dog's needs, fostering trust, reducing stress, and strengthening the human-animal bond. Ultimately, paying attention to such subtle cues transforms everyday interactions into a deeper, more empathetic dialogue between species.